What it do? What it do as we roll through your crew? This is motherfucking TeaScholar. You can bet your bottom dollar we're gonna be playing a motherfucking game versus the one known as TinyDragon. Now, this is gonna be one of the games that I mentioned before. I do the commentary after the fact, after the game is done, because quite honestly, it's just not fun. It's not fun to play these games and commentate at the same fucking time, unless if I'm just whooping someone's ass so hard, I don't even need to think twice about what I'm doing. But in a game like this, your boy had to do a shit ton of thinking on some crazy astronomical scales and shit, and I'll tell you what, if I was commentating on this game and playing it at the same time, I probably would have lost it, ladies and gentlemen. I probably wouldn't have been able to focus. I probably would have lost my shit and been like, oh, look at this nigga with his Goblin King at 27 damage on round 2. Now, as you can see here, he tried to hit me with a friendly quit. And I said, okay, maybe I don't want to fight Tiny, but I said, nah. He's probably doing that shit just so I can wuss out and be a bitch about shit. I'm just like, fuck that. Don't even think for a second I'm scared of you. Fuck a friendly quit. Let's play this game. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And turn all quick and shit. I was just like, come on, come hither with that bullshit. And as you can see, he's got the Goblin King out. This is gonna be a it's gonna be a mess. Because right here, you see that fucking damage spike? He's got 25 fucking damage now. What the fuck? It's because of strength of body. He just got strength of body from this other little goblin fuck. Now, I'm sure people like y'all have seen this combo before enough times in this game. I'll tell you what, I have seen this combo enough times in this fucking game. And I'm tired of it. It's bullshit. On maps where this little motherfucker would have been in my face quicker, it would have been a fucking hell on wheels. Would have been a pain in the ass. Would have been a suck-ass experience. But you know what? Because of this map, it took his ass quite a long time to get all the way down there. And this is the part of the game, this is the particular turn where I solidified my ability to have a chance at this game at all. Because already I was ready to surrender, seeing that 25 damage ass Goblin King. But I said, you know what? Playing versus UD ain't got range like that, so let me pop the Grimwell in the middle and a despoil just to be safe, like just for good measure, because I was expecting some spell spam. Now, I was considering doing Dead Zone Voodoo just to extra be safe, but I said, nah, not really, I don't need to do that. I should save Nora so I could deploy more in the bottom font, because if I get that bottom font, I should be deploying, and I should continue deploying until I'm winning the fucking game, because that's pretty much the best I can do. Hopefully get Unholy Tomb out. But I decided against Dead Zone Voodoo. I forgot to actually use my witch up top, so I left her with like 10 AP and ended turn. And as you can see here, I'm correcting my mistake of saying, let me move you now, just go ahead and go down there. I'm not trying to have you camp my top font the whole game. Nah, you're supposed to go down there, Ink Blight. Go and help the troops. So far, it looked like, you know, I was like, you know, despoil protected against the spell spam. He literally doesn't have any range up against that Grimwell other than that, what is that, oil thingamafuck that he just deployed. And now I'm using the AoE 4 to, just to gauge how far I would have to go to deploy Mist of Dead and, you know, belittle his range. So I do that, and I move 5 spaces forward, 5 spaces back, basically not moving at all when it comes to that particular champ I was using. You know, I've got my Lamia, which is extra anti-melee, so I've got 2 forms of anti-melee, and then the Ink Blight, which is anti-range. And I was trying to get my Fascinate going eventually, which is what I end up doing in the amount of turns that comes after this. While I was actually playing this game, that Mist of the Dead, the little relic that nobody uses, is only 20 Nora. It impairs their vision, so their range, if you look at this Goblin Dirtbag, his range is now 2. It is not 2 to 4 any longer, so he will have to go into the range of the Grimwell in order to hit it because of the Mist of the Undead, which is what I was going for. Mist of the Dead, my bad. And, shit, what else was there? I mean, I'm gonna have to roll myself a spliff in the duration of this match, even though I'm commentating after the fact. But just to give myself some time, I'll probably play a little song, pop on some music real quick, just some spliff rolling music. Honestly, this game takes quite a bit of time, and I'll keep everybody up to date with what's going on. But it's pretty self-explanatory. He uses Goblin King to take out Mist of the Undead. The thing of the Mist of the Dead is if you try and take down that little relic I deployed, Mist of the Dead, I have to explain every time I'm talking about that shit, because literally don't nobody know about that relic. Nobody uses it, nobody runs it, so I'm like, check this out, guys. There's some shit going on that you guys need to know about. It's called anti-range, and it's awesome. It has saved me on enough occasions where I will preach about it as much as Colossal preaches about fucking Essence Devourer. You know, run Mist of the Undead and Grimwell. That shit is good. In Witches, it is particularly good, because they have so much CC to begin with. Now, oh yeah, and then, you know, add that on top of Fascinate and everything else that Witches have at their disposal, and it's great. Okay. He's backed off. He continues to let me hold an advantage. I do realize eventually that I am not going to be able to use my Voltairy because the Grimwell is in the way. But to me, that's a fair advantage enough, because that means I get to keep the font. As long as I get to keep that font, in my mind, I'm winning the game. So I'm trying to just hold that font as long as I possibly can by spreading around all kinds of dead magic zone and what have you. And at any point in time where it seems like, oh, and I'm getting out more Fascinate, because I figured if I can, like, catch one of his shit off guard and chain Fascinate him, I was planning on chain Fascinating any given particular champ of his so that I could, you know, one round it, single it out. It's pretty hard to fight against TinyDragon when he's all built himself up into a corner like this, or where he's just solidifying his forces and making a formation every turn. Every turn, he's just moving around a little and making a little formation. So I figure I'm going to let him do that. I'm just going to keep the font and try and ride out that advantage so that eventually I will outnumber him. And when I outnumber him and feel like I can fight him on even footing, I'll take the fight to him. Now, I do eventually take the fight to him, and I lose about maybe half of my forces. And I get real demoralized and think maybe I shouldn't, you know, maybe I should quit. But I stuck it in there. That's funny. I stuck it in there. I stuck it out. I dropped my tomb here, and I was low-key hoping he didn't have any kind of, like, sizeism or anything. So I was low-key thinking of, like, deploying my banner in front of the Unholy Tomb. A long time ago, I was thinking about that. But thankfully, he didn't have any sizeism. And as you can see here, I just gather around the Grimwell, try and use the dead magic zone to my advantage. And on top of that, I'm using the stealth factor of the Seductress along with Fascinate to just try and weasel him into a bad position. And if I can fascinate one of his champs into this little zone, they would be shrunken, 0 AP, they could be run around, all kinds of shit. It's just a mess for him to try and advance. So I don't really blame him for not advancing, but it's because he just left it alone for so long and didn't really do anything particular about this the whole time that I was able to actually stick it out and end up winning the fucking game. You know, spoiler alert, if you ain't realized I tend to post games that I win. Yeah, it's because it's basically me showcasing shit that works out for me. If some shit doesn't work out, then I have to fix it and go and figure out how to make it work. And then I record it. I'll tend to be recording my trials and errors and mistakes and shit, simply because, if you think about it, lessons that I learned, I need to adjust myself and apply something in order to fix it. In order to not lose the same way that I might have lost before. And by the way, I did play a game right before this where someone used the exact same shit, the fucking Goblin King, at 20-something fucking damage because of strength of body. And because of the map, I had no chance against it, and he just killed Korif in one shot. I couldn't do that shit. I couldn't fucking deal, so I surrendered. I'm not gonna post a game like that, and I'm not gonna commentate on it either. There's no point. Fuck everyone who thinks I should, and fuck you for wanting me to. Like, I'm not going to. I'm just not gonna. Y'all can be sour, unsubscribe, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna just be up here posting my hundreds of losses that I might encounter on a day-to-day basis. Y'all don't know, and y'all don't need to know. So that's that. I'm gonna post what works out for me, so I can just, discuss it and solidify exactly what it is that is working in Forsaken motherfucking Ways. Because you know what? That's what people want to see. Especially people who watch my videos and say, I want to learn more about Forsaken motherfucking Ways. Watch my videos and you'll see how things work, when they work, and in what ways they do work. I thought I already deployed Maleficia already. I think I thought of deploying her because I wanted to get some heals out. Also, Dark Healing fights against his healing. But I got the Seductor Stout before that. There's a lot of shit going on some, like, if you look at this game, nothing's really going on quite yet. But at the same time, a lot of shit's going on. We're building up forces. I'm building up forces, trying to get a steady flow of, like, responses to different things. The Voltairy in particular is a response to that, whatchamacallit, that thing right there. What is that? Did I click on it? Come on, please tell me I clicked on it. No, I forget what it's called. Sticky Fingers? Yeah, Goblin Sticky Fingers. A little stealth motherfucker. Get that pain curse out, and you have anti-stealth. You have detection across the board, because of witches cursing everything all the time. Only thing he's got going for him is he can wait it out long enough to not be cursed and not be pain cursed anymore, and then hopefully stealth up into my top font and get himself back on the right track in this game. But he doesn't end up doing that. He just tries to, like, keep all his shit in one spot, I guess. If I was running some shit that was AoE heavy, I could bomb the shit out of him right now. In fact, I'm considering here, like, is this gonna just keep going? We're just gonna keep fucking looking at each other, and then he'll just probably whoop my ass. So I was like, I have to figure out how to, like, mobilize my forces and actually fight him at some point. But none of these positions are really good for me, so this is me working that out. I'm gonna roll this spliff real quick and play a little something. Hopefully nothing that'll copyright me. Something that yeah, not that. No, not that. Not that. Not that. See, this is me cycling through my iPod Shuffle. Ain't it some bougie ass shit? You know what? Fuck this. Let me go through the fucking. Fucking hell, man. No. I'm trying to fucking find my own music on my own iPod. This is bullshit. Nigga, come on. Why I got a million songs on my iPod, man? This is what song? There we go, that's something. Fucking hell. Okay, that works for me. I was able to roll a split in that amount of time that I played that fucking song. It took more time looking for the song on my damn iPod Shuffle than it took playing the damn song and rolling up a split. Anyway, I finally appear to go for something, offensive with my shit. I finally stopped defending myself in this case and try and go on the offensive. And how I did that by moving up my seductress up there where it's at. Now I know that it might not be a big deal to y'all, but to me at the time, I was like, boy, please don't die, seductress. If he finds seductress, she is so screwed. But at the same time, it's a high risk, high reward. Because I was thinking, if he doesn't find seductress where she's at, that means I'm gonna fascinate some shit most likely. And I was willing to take that risk. I would have been able to afford another seductress lickety split. So that's what I was going for. Now, honestly, I was trying to play some of my new shit. I have some new shit on here I want to play. Shit, let's see. There we go. Check this shit out. Oh, and by the way, the only thing that we were able to fascinate there was some shit that was blocked by impassable land anyway. And on top of that, he probably now knows my seductress is in that area. So it was just a tricky situation for me. I can't remember if this is exactly where I decided to go for my attack. But if it is that turn, I remember hitting a Witch's Hour and a Moby. Okay, yeah, this is the turn. So check it. It's already at the minute and 10-second mark, and I'm trying to get all my shit in the same zone so I can Witching Hour, and I do that, as you see. And then I do a Pain Curse. And then I move my shit into place. Everything's flying, so I don't have to worry about these fucking spaces and zones anymore. But nonetheless, I try and keep it safe. Hey, look at that. I ran into the Goblin Sticky Fingers trying to go up to my top font or some shit. So it's a good thing I went on the offensive when I did right here. And I'm just moving everything into position, trying to do this before I run out of time. I got about 35 seconds left. Thinking about what to do with this nigga. It doesn't even matter. I should just leave him alone. I finally Moby at the 30-second mark, and now I've got to do all this shit in 30 seconds. So imagine me trying to commentate on this shit at the same fucking time. It's impossible. It's not gonna happen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? There are times and places where niggas like me gotta do shit like this. See, I popped the Mr. the Dead, try and get some anti-range on them, because I noticed he had some range out. He got that Goblin Archer out and everything. So, here's me thinking that I did a good job. I'm thinking I got everything shrouded. I'm in a dead magic zone. I've got a stealthy. I've got 2 shrouded units, so both of them are shrouded. I've got Mr. the Dead up, so, you know, that shit. But then I didn't take into account, I guess, that he could just double beam me for 28 damage here, which is what he does with a couple swaps. It's not that hard for him. And then on top of that, he does a superiority on that Goblin Archer, which is the only champ right now that he could have done that on and did so much damage with. And it's just really a sheer factor of luck on his part that there was no Dead Magic Zone at that particular one spot, and it allowed him to make a decent AoE. I can't remember if he does superiority twice or once. Either way, I know I lose both of those Inkblight Witches, along with some other shit, and it's just, it was looking real bad for me. I think I even lose the Seductress. I think I lose the Inkblight and the Seductress. Yeah, it sucked. I was really pissed off, and I didn't really know what to do about it. At this point in time, this was me realizing, oh shit, I just tried to pull an offensive, I only killed 1 champ, and here he is spell spamming and all this. He's just like totally fucking me up right now, and it's not a fun time. So, okay, this is also what fucked me up in particular. That, what's it called? That move where he is like, he's basically absorbing all my HP, and it's a random amount of HP he's absorbing from everything around that AoE. So he legitimately got lucky on that too, and got 15 loss of life on 2 champs right there. That was bull, you know. And on top of that, his limit is like literally just 5 or 10 HP more than what he got. So if he simply would have actually got the complete maximum amount, his champ would have died, and I would have said, alright, at least I killed that champ. But instead, I have to deal with this now 65 HP ass goblin in my face while I've got damn near nothing. So here I am scrounging, you know, fucking up, realizing my nigga Volteri got more range than I thought he did. And I'm just over here trying to curse things. Curse actually went through one with Nora, so I'm happy about that. I looked in my combat log at this point, and I think I was trying to see if he even took any damage, because from the looks of it, it just looked like he didn't even take damage just now. But he did take at least like 3 damage. I have a hard time over here figuring out. I see, you know, look here, I got 135 Nora. I'm rolling in the dough, but my shit is dying. There's nothing I can do about that. So that pissed me off. I didn't really know what to do at this point. So I think I just go for a tap or two, any little convenient tap that might be possible. And, you know, witching hour still being up, I figured it's a little healing as well. So maybe I can just, like, damn near full heal my Lamia. I don't really full heal her, but I think I at least keep her alive. And I retreat. I retreat. I realize Lamia is still kind of in a bad place. She's kind of vulnerable where she's at, and I think she dies anyway. But this is just really a iffy part for me in this game. I couldn't have commentated on this part with any enthusiasm. I probably wouldn't have even like said shit. Because to be honest, I was just like shitting my fucking pants. I knew I had an advantage. I got Tomb out. I've got both 2 fonts. He's only got 1. Only thing is that I'm fighting against TinyDragon and he happens to know what the fuck he's doing. But under any normal circumstances, I should have been whooping his ass. The fact that he has all these champs out and he's just like totally turtling the fuck out of his forces is, you know, gonna give anybody some problems and issues. But if you know what you're doing, in other words, if I know what I'm doing, I knew somewhere deep in my heart that I should have been winning and I should win this game. So I go for it. I just keep fucking playing. I, in my mind, imagined that I had already lost at this point, even though everything seemed to be peachy key. Oh, that's how he killed the Lamia. He did a Mind Slicer Boomerang. Yeah, it is what it is. So I'm over here 3 champs. He's got 6 champs. I'm literally outnumbered 2 to 1, and yet I've got the Nora advantage. I've got so much Nora even now, and it's not even my turn yet. Got 71 Nora. I had 135 Nora after losing half of my shit, and I'm just like, well, I've got the Nora to deploy shit, but how am I going to win? How's this going to help me? Oh, as you see, I deployed a Golden Lamia, which is one of the newer FW ranged units. Pretty good in witches, pretty good in meta, pretty good in a lot of shit, but could be a little bit better, like a lot of the new things. But that's the thing. I'm not too caught up on trying to, you know, like if the Desert Owl Games releases some shit, I tend to be more forgiving now if it isn't that OP, just because I realize things aren't supposed to be that OP. It's if they just release some shit, oh, okay, I went for some combo shit here. I guess the way that I was thinking was, if I'm gonna stay in this game and I've got some spells at my disposal and he's, you know, got himself all in one spot, a good Chain Lightning is just very good face value damage right there. For the cost of Chain Lightning, the fact that I did all that damage is probably what made that spell worth it at that point in time. And on top of that, it enabled me to get a kill through with Soulbane. So if you got Chain Lightning and Soulbane, most situations you're looking at a clean 30 loss of life, basically. I mean, Chain Lightning isn't loss of life, but Soulbane is loss of life, and it goes through the IS bonus and everything, which is why I advocate Soulbane more than Chain Lightning. But as you can see here, I'm trying to actually experience, or experiment, if you will, with both spells, and see, as you can see in that scenario, I'm losing my fucking ability to commentate. As you can see in that scenario, having both at the same time actually allowed me a pretty good advantage. Better than an Essence Drain and a Chain whatever the fuck. It's better off with Chain Lightning and Soulbane in that case. And I was really trying to get rid of that Goblin King, because that was the scariest part of his lineup, the real thing that was keeping me at bay, my damn self. the fact that he had a champ with 25 plus ass damage on the board. I had to kill that nigga. So Chain Lightning and the Soul Bane, in my perspective, to see someone else do that always seems like a desperate move. But that was a case where I myself decided it was worth it, and I went for it. He still actually outnumbers me almost 2-1. I've got 4 champs. He's got 7. If I deploy something, then, you know, I've got 5 and he'll have 7. He might deploy something else and have 8. But let's say for whatever reason I decided not to deploy this turn and try and continue spell spamming his ass. I'm just saying, there's a way and there's a time and place in which you might take things too far. I didn't do that here. It would have put me right back in the place I was in a few turns ago, where I'm outnumbered 2-1. He would have had 8 champs because he would have kept deploying, and then I would have had my remaining 4 along with my little spell spam, and maybe one of his champs would have been closer to dead. But it doesn't even matter. We're playing FW, and FW is always about attrition. Even if you're playing vamps, even if you're playing witches, especially if you're playing zombies, skeletons, liches, or meta good stuff. And then worms, fuck worms. So that's it. And fuck worms, because I've played them before and they're fucking boring. Okay? Sue me. Oh yeah, you see he got Maxarick out, and he was trying to get that Goblin King to get a good ability from him, like maybe Dark Summons. But I'm also thinking, like, what kind of cheap shit is he running? What's in his BG that's cheap enough for him to be popping out with Dark Summons anyway, other than Imps? So that wouldn't really help him either. And either way, he got Sacrificial Power as his picked up ability from Maxarick, so I can live with that. So far, I'm in a better position because there's not a champ on the board on his side that has 25 damage. Let me just say that, okay? That's the main reason this game was a fucking pain in the ass. I really do think that the devs should do something about that whole lineup of shit. I'm just saying. There's no reason for a champ to have 25 fucking damage on the second round of the game. No matter how it's working, if it's RNG or just a luck factor. There shouldn't be a factor of luck to that potentiality. The luck factor should be to a certain extent. And it also, likewise, shouldn't cost you the game to try and use it. In other words, it doesn't really affect my opponent, TinyDragon here, if he happens to pick up a shit ability and the luck factor doesn't work out for him. He's still picking up something. It's still an advantage. It's just a matter of what level of advantage. But 25 damage on the second round of the game is just dumb. You're just basically, it's a complete fucking draw win. It's a draw rape. You're just fucking abusing the fact that you got lucky enough to have drawn those 2 champs early enough in the game to make that happen. And Tiny isn't the first one I've seen make that happen. I was saying I lost a game literally right before I recorded this particular game, where I was fighting some motherfucker on a different map, and it wasn't TinyDragon, and they whooped my ass because they got a Goblin King to 25 damage on round 2, because they had the same exact motherfucking reveal that Tiny just got. So you can't tell me that that's just such an impressive luck factor that it's just so rare. Fuck that. It's very fucking common. It needs to be fixed. It needs to be looked at. So hopefully one of these motherfuckers, someone tags Sock. Someone tags Sokolov so he can read or express or write some kind of response to this shit. So he can say, yeah, you know, I personally believe the luck factor is appropriate, and I'm just going to leave it as is. At least give me a response, dog. I would appreciate that. Because I'm out here explaining my perspective on shit so that it could be responded to. Not so people could just soak it in and say, oh, I loved my TeaScholar. Nah, man, let's try actually, like, progressing the game in some kind of fashion. I've noticed dog, and when I say dog, Desert Owl Games, I've noticed the dog devs have, like, actually adjusted some shit based on what I've been playing. Like, a lot of the shit that I used to run 100% all the fucking time, expansion to expansion, like Afflicted Corpse. They done nerfed his ass to the Stone Age because they realized I was abusing him. They fucked up, there was some other shit that they fucked up. I could get more into detail of that, but I'm not here to really complain about that at the moment. All I'm saying is, I personally noticed that some of the things I've said has affected things in the game. Like General Corsian got better. Maybe, I mean, who knows? Maybe my opinion actually it matters worth a fuck, and maybe someone gives a fuck about it enough to share that opinion and maybe express it in the forums, and then the devs listen to the people in the forums and listen to what they gotta say, which has always been what it's like. I could have did better with this despoil. I could have put it in a better place, but either way, I put the dead magic voodoo, dead zone voodoo up, expecting some kind of, it'll throw him off in some way and give me some kind of way to continue killing him and whittling him down. I'm taking note of his health bars and how he's going down. Basically what I'm getting at is some of the things I say in my videos in a way reflects the views of the FW community as a whole, but also sometimes the FW community as a whole reflects my perspective and views and opinions on this shit. So either way it goes, we're helping each other out. You know, you can agree with me or disagree, but at least recognize and throw some respect on my name, on the simple fact of the matter that I'm out here trying to actually improve the game while y'all motherfuckers just complain, whatever the fuck, and play the game and lose and then go and chat it up in the forest. I just lost to so-and-so. I'm angry. How about you show some footage of your ass either getting whooped, which I don't have the heart to do, as I talked about, or show some footage of you overcoming this shit and showing how long. We're in 35 rounds right now, 34th round. And, you show the bullshit you gotta go through to deal with this shit. And then commentate on it. And you could let motherfuckers know, like, hey, check this out. This is what's really going on. You got live motherfucking footage of shit going on. Take note, motherfuckers. But otherwise, it's just text. You can only believe text to such an extent. It matters on who's mentioning the text. That's one thing you'll notice in the forums. If someone with a decent enough name complains about some shit, then they seem to, oh, okay, yeah. See, this pissed me off too. But it was okay because he killed his own champ. He did the boundless, it's not boundless enthusiasm. It's, the same ability that the strength of body champ used. It's the thing where they eat the champs in the AoE lose HP, and the champ with the ability gains the HP, and if he goes above 75 HP, he dies. So he just killed his own Goblin King for a decent AoE attack, and I'm just like, well, I'm cool with that. He gets a Mind Slicer Boomerang off, and it hits the Seductress, but it doesn't give him a kill. So at this point, I'm realizing, truly, look at this look at his champs. He's losing. He's now finally losing. Part of the process of this whole game that I actually forgot to mention was the whole Goblin Thievery thing. Like, he actually stole Coven Claw way early in this game. If you look at his champs, he's got Coven on there, but he has no witches, so it doesn't really help him at all. And then on top of that, the part that really fucked me over in this game that I was really pissed about while playing it, but I forgot in the commentary, as you can see up until now, he Goblin thieved Shroud from my Inkblight Witch. So all of his champs have had evasive this whole time. Like, literally all of his champs had Shroud. So as long as he kept in that formation he was in, he was gonna, be only able to be really taken out by melee for the most part, which is an illusion. If you see champs with evasive or reflexes, it doesn't mean that they're like not able to be taken out with range and melee. It just means that they take less damage. Always take that into account, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I went here, I stuck my nose out with my Seductress to get the kill off on that Goblin Archer and said fuck it. Kind of an eye for an eye situation. And but I just want to let people know, like, don't get discouraged because people have defensive abilities at their disposal. Just know that they can still die. It's as simple as that. Like, there are many times where I was demoralizing myself thinking, like, oh, his champ's got Oblivion Shield, so, like, attacking him is completely worthless. And then it's just like, well, wait a minute. maybe one attack would be worthless, but then I could follow up with it. You know, sometimes we just blind ourselves to the fact that we're still capable of like either winning a game or at least just like putting up a fight. And sometimes putting up a fight is all it really takes to get yourself in a better scenario where you might have a different perspective on shit. You're just like, well, you look at me right now and where the game's going. Like, you can see why TinyDragon surrendered eventually, because it's just gonna keep snowballing from this point. And I figured, I saw this shit coming down the line. I was just like, why aren't I winning right now? I got the advantage. So, yeah, don't discourage yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Always keep in there until you really truly know there's no chance. Because that's the only way you can really get better at the game. I played some people who are new at this game, like Drake Aaron. I'm not gonna talk shit about him. He's a cool cat so far. He hasn't really talked shit to me, so I'm not gonna talk shit about him or to him. But when I played a game or two versus his ass, he just surrendered so quickly. Oh, okay. So I guess this is the part where what the fuck happened to the video? It looks like the video cut out for me, but I think that might have been where he surrendered. Nah, okay, the game is still going. All right, it cut back in. That was just some full screen glitchy stuff right there. Yeah, I played against this Drake Aaron guy, and no disrespect to Drake, but like he totally could have, you know, stuck in it a little bit longer in my game versus him. He just gave up too quickly. It was like, you know, sure he was making some mistakes, and we all do. Hell, I even make mistakes. Like I left my Inkblight Witch with 10 AP earlier in this game. That was a major mistake, but like I'm still winning. I'm still playing the game. I'm still trying to figure it out and wiggle myself into some wiggle room. I cast another Witching Hour here and really get the heals going on his ass and really get the advantage going my way. But I guess if I never went against him in that initial offensive, I wouldn't have begun whittling him down at all. And that was what was disturbing me as well in this game, because I realized no matter what advantage you may think you have, you never really have full permission to just sit around and watch your opponent build up forces that are about to, like, you know, obliterate you. Everybody's got something that in their faction, if you give them enough time to build up their forces, obviously they're more powerful in full force than they are without full force. And yeah, I don't know. There's a balance between it all. I've had good times when all my forces are full and solidified, and I can really kill some shit. But it's a more vulnerable state, because then it means your opponent has more. So there have been times where I've felt safer when there are less champs on the board, where each player might have 2 or 3 champs at the most, and you just keep deploying to keep up with the death rate, because there's usually a champ dying every now and then. So, but in this scenario, and often with TinyDragon, Baller, or other very good, talented players who often play shit like chess or whatever, they're not going to be too prone to just throw away their shit and sacrifice things. That's something that new players should take note of as well, that I've noticed and I've been able to pick up off of watching talented players play the game. There are times where you might think to yourself, fuck it, just double tap, just go fight him, I don't care. But if you actually be a pain in the ass and just move a champ away and run away and make your champ fucking chase after your ass, then you can actually get them into a worse off position than initially they would have been in. So he tried to do some shit with Maxoric right there, realized the range was impaired or whatever. I don't know what happened there. Maybe he portaled to the wrong place. I don't know. Even if he portaled to the right place, his range is 1 right now because of Mr. Dead. So that was a waste of AP on his part. So he just fucked up again. See, TinyDragon just fucked up, ladies and gentlemen, and he's still playing. So new players out there, just take note. Keep playing the game and try and like figure things out, because that's the only way that you'll stop making such mistakes. Like, I've played this game a long enough time to where anytime I make a little mistake, often enough I will notice it, and that's often as well a sign of a good player. A good player will notice their mistakes, learn from it, be able to fix themselves off of it, I'm not trying to turn this too much into a sermon or anything, but like, if there's any way I can help people, I guess I've got some shit to say from time to time. But aside from that, we're still in this game. We were just continuing to whoop TinyDragon's ass, basically. I already explained why I won the game and how I won the game. Now it's just a matter of watching it play out, I guess, a little bit. And that's what I'm gonna let y'all do. I'm gonna continue smoking this spliff real quick and play a little bit of some music that me and my boys do. Whooping ass. Yeah, okay. I think I looked in global for a second. On my lap at all times. Pistol grip. On my lap at all times. Nigga out here playing TinyDragon trying to get mine. I was taking note of his Goblin Rock Pack. That was his sizeism right there. And I think it got my banner. Or no, it got my Grimwell. So I was cool about that. Yeah. This is a part of the song. We're gonna go from 6/8 to 4/4. So check this out. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This was a great part of the game where I'm just like killing shit, picking up globes. I'm like, this is how PoxNora is supposed to feel, babe. You know, I can even move my Voltaria up and start tapping shit because the Grimwell is gone. It's just like, this is great. You know, I guess, like, I guess he could have deployed that rock pack earlier and just busted through my little Grimwell formation and really fucked me up. But he didn't do that. So, like, it kind of came a little too late. My Lamia was really shutting shit down too. Just like, you know, everything was getting shrunk. All those Goblin rock packs weren't really able to do much of anything because they kind of had 2 speed if they ever had to move anywhere or do anything. So 2 speed is damn near like being pacified. Just really can't really do shit there. He busts another superiority. but it doesn't win him an advantage back. It doesn't really get him back in the game. He does a double superiority. You know, it's pretty mean. I was a little butthurt about it, but I was still like, yo, I get it. This is what the moment I've been waiting for. Even Maxarek got shrunk. That's what I knew. It was just like, it's a game. It's done. It's GG. It's GG, Tiny. It's GG. Shit, what else I got on here?
Back it up and dump it, sir.
Alright, so like, let's see. Alright, fuck it. I'll play this one. Staring at the mirror in the center of my circle, thinking I might lose control. Think I might lose control. Lose control. Got by the body and I find that I'm thriving. As long as I don't lose my soul. Don't lose my soul. Have no fears, cause Negro G is near and we're not here to save anyone. Every day is a new day and we're all here to have some fun.
僕は素晴らしいです。いいね。野菜真下はいいね。いいね。僕をいます。
もっといます。
ちょっといます。ラジャゲンは全てあなたを殺すでしょう。誰も大嫌いだ。大が何とぞ。以上深刻です。それをすみません。どこにでも野菜あなたを
Let me see.
Ah,
fuck it. I guess I'll have to play that for y'all later. Anyways, GG mate. I'm sure we'll do this another time. You know, just how we do it. The Forsaken. Motherfucking waste. So don't be a bitch about it. Enjoy the experience. It's been so far. Once again, I am TeaScholar. And this has been Forsaken. Motherfucking waste.